Johnny's Bite.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Hasbanallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. It's Friday. Juma Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. As you go to the mosque today, pray that God will open ways for you and provide for you, because it looks like we've been left to be on our own. This morning I won't talk about Gihok because I've done 2-3 straight days. I still have some more documents, but I'm hoping that at this point the appointing authority and the so-called order from above would have moved in. I will give the weekend, today and the weekend, some breathing space. If I don't get any indication that something is happening at Gihok to rectify the many anomalies and the disturbing issues that are ongoing there, I'll release the extra documents that I have. I'm saying again that this morning I will not go to Gihok, but I'm doing that on condition that the appointing authority would have seen the things I've put out there, and not as if they didn't know the things that I spoke about, but I had to put them out there. The fact that GRA is old, the fact that SNIT is old, the fact that the tier 3 contributions have not been paid, the fact that the wage bill has gone up, the fact that the staff numerical strength has gone up, and productivity has become a question, because if you are producing and you are profitable, you will be able to satisfy all those requirements and state or statutory payments and everything else. So I won't go there. I won't go into the many other things that I've spoken about. I won't go there. The ballooning of the number of managers from 7 to 27, I won't go there. I'm saying I have given enough of the meat, and I'm hoping that the appointing authority, which is the president, whose in-law is in charge of Gihok, and the chief of staff, whose relative is in charge of Gihok, and all the other management members and the board at Gihok, and the sector ministry of Mr. K.T. Hammond and his Dr. Stephen Amwa and everybody else at the trade ministry, I hope that they will pay attention there. And I'm hoping that something good will come out. If not, next week, the explosive documents that I will drop, maybe unless you'll go and put me somewhere. Now, this morning, I have mixed feelings, because it appears that the government in one breath tells us one thing and does the other. The typical what I call Ajana 1, Ajana 2. I still have in my mental picture, I don't know if I bring Helen here, she can recite everything that Mr. Ofori-Atta said, that we are a proud nation, will not go to the IMF. We hear what Deputy Minister Tribefi said about IMF and their small boys, what my brother Dr. John Kuma said in Parliament, that will not go to the IMF. What everybody and we're even called naysayers. Today we are the IMF, and those same people are asking us to jubilate. Those same people who told us that if we go to the IMF, we are a failure, they are now asking us to jubilate. When in fact, we know that the conditions for the implementation of this IMF deal, tariffs are already going up, water and electricity. Not so long ago, water and electricity went up. Water and electricity are about to go up again. Electricity by 1st June will have another hit on water. These are the basic necessities of life. There will be a job freeze. I told you about the cocoa board enumerators. Their contract was supposed to end on June 30. Now they're told that by 1st of June they should go. All these are effects of the IMF deal that we have. And if we are not really concerned, now we are being asked to applaud. It becomes a problem. What are we supposed to be applauding? What exactly are we supposed to be applauding? It was this same thinking and mentality when we got an extended IMF program. Now we went to organize Wache and Kinky party for the people. I hope that nobody will come and organize any party again. If you try any fufu party, you'll see. Let's hear Mr. Gabio Tredako. Let's hear him.
The US said, where has all the money gone? And what is happening is that we are spending more and more money to pay our debts rather than investing in capital expenditure or capital projects that will create jobs. So you are looking at it, the IMF will not create jobs. The IMF will not make sure that the salaries match up with inflation. IMF will make sure that hopefully, the reckless spending will go down. And I think that's the positive aspect of it.
Okay, thank you.
But in terms of expanding the economy, I'm not so sure.
Right.
In opposition, this was the tone. The IMF will not create jobs. That is critical because we have been told that in 2023 and beyond, while we're on the IMF program for the next 3 years or so, there will be a job freeze or a freeze on jobs. So the IMF will not create jobs. It was very, very spot on. With the benefit of power, we're doing the same. And these were the same, standpoints upon which we stood and joined the chorus to call somebody incompetent. Today, when you say incompetent, then they get angry. Today, when you mention corruption, then they get angry. Today, when you say they are recklessly borrowing, then they get angry. Today, when you talk about capital investments, then they get angry. I hope that somebody will whisper into the ears of the powers that be, the powers from above, who give orders from above, that as we get into this IMF program, the things like the National Cathedral Agenda 111, all those things, because we don't have the money for them. If we promise that we're going to finish Agenda 111 in 2 years or 18 months, and up until now, we don't even have a single Agenda 111 up and running more than 6 months after the deadline, then we have a problem. This is where we need to be prioritizing, because as we speak today, the children in the basic schools have still not been fed because school feeding caterers are on strike. Now, there's a certain kind of energy that comes around when you hear IMF. Look at how the forex market started behaving. We moved from 11 or 12, 11 to 10, and then to 9 CD to dollar. Because people were suddenly expectant and happy that, oh, finally. So it's as if you are running and then you are tired and somebody is coming to rescue you. You let yourself go and you fall on the person. You get the point. Now, the one of the promises that was made, and this is where you expect the president to keep his promise at least for once. There were 80 MPs initially in Parliament, led by lawyer Apia Kubi, who told us, listen, let me know, listen to him.
We here so present a greater number of the said caucus. My name is Andy Apia Kubi, and I am only here as spokesperson for the majority group, without more. We have had occasions to defend allegations of conflict of interest, lack of confidence, trust against the leadership of our finance ministry. The recent developments within our economy are of great concern to the greater majority of members of our caucus and our constituents. We have made our grave concern to the President through the parliamentary leadership and the leadership of the party without any positive response. We are by this medium communicating our strong desire that the President change the Minister of Finance and the Minister of State in the Finance Ministry without further delay in order to restore hope into the financial sector and reverse the downward trend in the growth of the economy. The summary of our concerns leads to a plea that the Minister of Finance, Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, and the Minister of State of the Ministry of Finance, Honorable Charles Adubuahin be removed from office.
So Dr. Charles Adubuahin was booted out. Of course, there was some scandal that came around and he was booted out. But Mr. Ofori-Atta is still there. And one of the assurances of the president was that if we kick out Mr. Ofori-Atta before the deal is sealed, it will derail or interrupt our process or disrupt the processes. Well, now we are finished with the deal. This is where you expect the president to at least keep his promise. And this is where you expect the members of parliament on the side of the majority and even those on the side of the minority to step forward and say, this is what we told you, this is what you told us to hold on, and that after the IMF deal you are going to deal with that situation. We expect you now to deal with that situation so that the people of Ghana, whom we said had told us when we went on recess as parliamentarians that they do not want the two at the finance ministry, they will be kicked out. But you know, you will have people in government, people who have appointments. You have people who are sympathetic towards the NPP party and people who have contracts. Listen to me. I'm talking about people in government, people who are appointees, people who are sympathetic to the government and the party, and people who have contracts. They will all say, let Ken Ofori-Atta not go. You know why? Let me start from people who have contracts. They have contracts because and they have prepared their certificates, and the certificates have not been honored. If Mr. Ofori-Atta goes, they fear that they will have to start the process all over again. So they would rather have him there, even though they know that he being there doesn't give a positive outlook to the ministry and to the government. So they want him there. There are those who are sympathetic to the party who, for whatever reason, will not see anything negative, even if the thing is going south. And then there are those who are appointees who think that, Charlie, if I don't support this man and I say anything publicly, I will be in trouble. My appointment could be taken away from me. Or even if they are MPs, their seats could be taken away from me. Listen to Eugene of Subin, as I like to call him. Listen to him.
Nobody made me an MP. Akufo-Addo did not make me an MP. You understand? God made me an MP. I was elected as Akufo-Addo was elected. So nobody should dare threaten anybody. When you veer into that realm, you even muddy the waters the more. I'm not sitting here speaking as Eugene Boachienfi. I'm sitting here speaking as a representative of the very good people of Subin. So they shouldn't bring these threats and what have you. If you want to come and sit me, come to Subin and sit me. Nobody made me an MP. The good people of Subin made me an MP. I contested the primary like everybody contested the primary to become president. The fact that you have taken this position doesn't mean that it's directly directed at President Akufo-Addo.
So that's Eugene of Subin, as I like to call him. And he spoke truth to power that we're building a democracy, not a monarchy and whatever it is. See, I'd say this one last thing. That in respect of asking the president to at least keep his promise. And Mr. Ofori-Atta, in his own free will, if I were him, I would have left. Because the narrative around me and at the finance ministry is not too cool. Today we have a supervisor from the IMF sitting at the finance ministry, supervising our work. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the point where now new taxes have been introduced. There's the excise tax, there's the income tax that has also gone up. There's a growth and sustainability tax that has also been introduced, right? And then there's water tariff that has gone up. If you read the excise tax law that was recently released, you find, I showed you the list the other time, beer, water, tobacco, snuff, akpeteshi, all of it has been taxed, right? So now all those products that are water-based, water tariffs will have gone up or will go up by June. The taxes on all those things that they used to produce have also gone up, which means that the production will go up, which means that when you pick a bottle of water that you used to buy at 1 cedi, you could be buying at 1 cedi 80 pesos, 2 cedis or 2 cedi 50 pesos, maybe. I don't know how they will do their calculation per what, because it is garbage in, garbage out. What they invest is what the cost price and selling price, literally. So we are asking this morning for the president to keep his word, because if he keeps his word Mr. Ofori-Atta goes, it will bring back a certain kind of energy. Look, I tell you what, a lot of people have apathy towards the government and the NPP because of Mr. Ofori-Atta. Because they think that he's too powerful. And recently when Bawumia launched his campaign, you heard the conversations that he was not allowed to work and yada, 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 yada. Does he even attend cabinet meetings? Or when cabinet meetings are held and he doesn't attend, he comes and... there people have said too many things. If I were him, I would have gone. But if he's not going, Mr. President, will you let him go? Good morning.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even